Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. My hormones make me in that case.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hope you are all doing well. So, today we're going to be talking all about what things might be keeping you stuck, meaning you're not moving the needle forward, all those little things that come into your mind that keep you from actually taking action. I'm going to be running through some typical ones, actually, some examples from clients that have said to us as well. We're not going to be naming and shaming, don't worry, but just some kind of concepts of what people have said to us and some things I suppose that we think about as well and keep us up also.
Yeah, I think like the reason for this is like I think it's this podcast is like there was a few things that you mentioned after doing like the 6 week cut as to what cropped up for you that you'd never like thought about before, and there's things like I don't know, I've just been talking to clients lately, and there's just stuff that they think only they think of or it only happens to them. Like I get this so much, like 90% of people that we train, or definitely that I train, do the same thing. And they think they're the only one that does it. Like there's certain ways that they move in the gym, or they'll go to do something, and I'm like walking around them to look at them from a different angle because I know they're going to turn around and make something way more complicated than it is. And they're like, and then the ones that don't do it, they're like, oh, why were you going to walk around there? I was like, oh, because 90% of people do like that move a certain way. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think this is like a really good one. I had a client that said to me yesterday, um, she's got arthritic hips and knees and stuff, and she's wanted to walk up hills and things. And we were talking about how much easier her life has now become and how she can like walk down the stairs like without even thinking I have to go down one by one. Like, and she's on like going up is a little bit harder, but it's getting easier. And she said to me like this week, she said, oh, I've just felt a difference. Like I got her to do some squats, and her squats are so much stronger than they were like a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, oh my God, look at this. This is so good. And I was saying to her about clicky joints and things like that. I know I'm kind of going off a little bit here, but there's a reason for this. So we were talking about clicky joints and things like this as well. And I said to her, look, and I laid down on the floor and I said, look, if I do this move here, like my shoulders go crack, 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 crack. When they make a it's horrible the way it feels like on the inside. I said, but the things that I'm doing aren't making that worse. Like, if anything, it's better that I keep moving them and keep getting them stronger so this doesn't cause me problems, right? And she
Yeah,
said to me, she's like, look, I look at you as like the pinnacle of health. Like, I don't look at you as if to think that you've got anything wrong with you or you go through any of this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I go through this stuff. Like, I am a human being too. Like, my leg has been giving me jip for the last 5 years. Doesn't mean I stop playing football. Doesn't mean I give up doing stuff. Like, I still carry on doing it. Like, and then some weeks my leg hurts more than other weeks. Like last week it was a pain in my ass. Whereas this week, I thought, oh, training, I'll see a physio. And then I went and turned up and was like, oh, well, my leg doesn't hurt now. So I'll just carry on, you know? Like, there are things that we think and we've been through in the past and still think like the whole I'll get up in the morning, I'll do an early workout. Oh my God, the amount of times I've done that one and then just the next day gone, no, I'm not doing that. Like absolutely not. I'll leave that until later. Like that we do still that people just don't think we do.
yeah, it is true. I do think people look at us and think we're just motivated every single day. We're really like disciplined. We don't have any injuries. We eat perfectly every single meal. We just kind of fly through life in this like bubble, and it's like, nope, it's still hard
No,
for us.
hun.
Like,
We have to think about
if
this shit. We have to
only.
participate in this shit as well. Like, you know? Yeah, absolutely not. Like, and it is really hard sometimes to motivate people when you're not feeling motivated. Like, I had a boxing class on Saturday, and the last thing I wanted to do was go and motivate 10 other people. I was not motivated at all. I wanted to just lay in bed and not talk to the world. But I was like, no, come on, get your ass out of that. You can do it. It'll be fine. Like, and I did. I went and did it because like everyone was waiting for me. Everyone was there. They want to come. They enjoy it. So like I have to be like, yeah, like. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh God, I'm done.
100%. I think that's the difference, isn't it, between people that stay stuck, people that don't stay stuck, is if you consistently make excuses and you consistently don't show up for yourself and you don't make those hard choices, you're never going to move the needle forward. Whereas the people that do, even when they don't want to, still show up, still do the thing. Most of the time, we're not perfect. There are sometimes times when we don't do those things. But if you're more often than not doing them, you're going to get there. And
Mm,
that's the difference, isn't it, between the people that get the results and people that don't.
yeah, absolutely. Like you might not be like, yes, you might think, oh, when we asked, we've said this before, but like, oh yeah, right, I can do 3 workouts a week. That's fine. We'll plan it for you. 3 workouts a week, half an hour, cool, boom. But realize that sometimes that doesn't happen every week, and that doesn't mean you failed. That might mean the next week you might be really busy because it's summer holidays and you've got to take your kids out and do all these things. Like you might actually only fit in 1 workout that week, but that's okay because that's one more workout than you did or you would have done a month ago when you weren't training with anyone.
Yeah.
It's doing those little things. One might seem so small and so like pointless in the moment, but it actually isn't because it's way more than what you were doing.
Yeah, definitely. And that's another thing that keeps people stuck is if you don't necessarily meet your goals for that week, then you just think, well, I'm going to quit because I haven't done it. So what's the point? And then you just completely stop. Well, actually, yeah, if you do that one workout and then you do the three the next week, it really doesn't matter that you only did one the last week because you're straight back on track. But as soon as you quit because you've been what they call quotes, whatever, failed, then yeah, you have failed.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're still not moving the needle forward, even like you say, that one extra glass of water, that one workout, that one walk you've done that week is still going to push you further ahead than just giving up and not doing it at all.
Yeah, exactly. I was literally
And I think,
talking to, sorry,
yeah, that's right.
I was literally talking to one of my clients last week, and I don't think I mentioned this in the podcast. I can't remember. We were talking about having all their ducks in a row, and she was like, "But I want to do this, 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 and this, and this, and I'm not doing any of it." I was like, "It's because you're trying to do all the ducks. You're trying to line all the ducks in a row, and you're not even lining one duck in a row. One duck. You're not moving one duck forward. So how do you expect to have all of them lined up perfectly in order when you're not even moved, got that one duck going?" So I was like, we need to lower the expectations here. We need to get one or two ducks moving. She went, "Can I do two?" I was like, fine. What are your two ducks? Water and steps. Great. How are we going to make sure that that happens? This, and this. Text me every single day what you've completed for those days. And she has been. And hopefully, when I catch up with her, she's already saying, "I've been to the gym as well." That's another little duck edging forward because she's already winning at those. And it's like, yeah, I don't really know where I was going with that, but it kind of made sense what we were
Yeah,
talking about.
but that's the thing. Yeah, 100%. You can't set up 10 ducks when you can't even do one. Like, and
Yeah,
so many people do that, or so many people are like, oh, once I get my ducks in a row, then I'll be ready. No, no, stop that because you're never going to be ready. It's never going to happen. We don't have our ducks in a row every week. Oh my gosh, like we went to like Bird World this weekend and mum made sausage rolls and cheese straws and like I took a few things like grapes so I can get some fruit in. I took a protein yogurt. I never ate it. I put it back in the bag because I ate the sausage rolls and the cheese sticks. Um, but they've still been in the fridge, and I had th 2 or 3 of those. When I say sausage rolls, they're not big ones. They were like little, picnic sized ones.
yeah,
Um, I finished off the cheese straws today. Like my ducks have not been in a row when it comes to food this week. Absolutely not. Like, but it's okay. I'm not going to give up. I still then had like a salmon salad and stuff for lunch. Still had my pancakes this morning, even if I had a few extra cheese straws. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not suddenly going to go, do you know what? There's no point. I might as well just give up. Like, it's not, that's not how it works.
No. And I really love that video on social media. Some of you might have seen it, I don't know. But you know when
Mm.
people say like, you know what I'm talking about, when they like drink the water, they go, and then they're like, oh, what do? They spill it or something. They're like, oh, that's it. Yeah, they spill a bit of the water, so they just pour all the water out. Why would you ever do that? Why would you? You spill a bit of water, you're not just going to throw your whole water like glass of water on the floor. And it's the same
Uh,
thing. If you have two sausage rolls, you're not going to think, oh, I've ruined it. I might as well eat all the sausage rolls now. Make that make sense. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
it doesn't. No, absolutely. And also, I might want to enjoy that sausage roll tomorrow as well. So I'll just save one so I can have it tomorrow too.
Yeah, yeah. It's like maybe you spill a bit of ketchup down your top. You're not going to then just open the whole ketchup tub and like pour the whole thing down yourself, are you?
No, exactly. Like you spill something, you don't chuck more of it on, you clean it up and you go again, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And think about babies when they're like starting to walk. Like they fall over 100 times and then eventually they stand up and they're walking.
yeah,
It's
they don't give up. You don't see
no,
any adults crawling around because they've gone, do you know what? Fuck this shit when they're a kid. I'm not doing it. I'm not walking. I'm not learning to walk. I'm gonna bum shuffle everywhere. That doesn't happen.
no. Can you imagine? We're just in a world of like adults that are just like, nah, I've fallen over a few times, so I can't be bothered to walk. Fell over a few times, I can't bother to like,
Just isn't. It's not a thing. Like we need to stop treating your food and your exercise and that as like this thing that you're never going to be able to do, because if you keep treating it like that, you're never going to be able to do it. Stop making it so freaking complicated. It drives me insane. People see all this shit on Instagram. Stop it. Just stop following shit tons of people that give you all these complicated things to do, because it's not that complicated. Like, break it down, make it simple, start off small, build it up. Like, don't go for the high whatever, the high stakes first, because you ain't ever going to get there. Like, build it up and don't just say, oh, well, I only did one workout. Oh, I only did three workouts. I only ate a bit of salmon. Like, because as soon as you start saying that, you make yourself feel like shit as well. Like, stop it. Just
reframe
like,
yourself.
yeah, I've had quite a few people this week. Oh, I've only managed to do this. And I'm like, what do you mean you've only managed to do that? That's three more workouts than most people have managed to do.
Yeah,
Like, you've only managed 90,000 steps in a week. Oh, only. Like, that's a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Reframe yourself. Say, I've
God.
managed to do 90,000 steps this week. Well done, you. Like,
Yeah.
rather than
Like,
saying I only did that. It's so simple, but that complete just reframing your mind completely change your whole view on how you've done. And yeah,
it's mad. I want to shake some people and be like, are you kidding me? Look at what the rest of the world is doing. Like, not half that much. Like, come on. Like, as well as having kids and a life and a business and stuff to look after too. You're doing great. Like, just stick with it. Like, don't beat yourself up because you haven't done seven workouts. Who's doing seven workouts? I'm not doing seven workouts a week. Bugger that. I haven't got time for that shit. So I
going
just
back
got
to
my
what you
armpit.
said before about going back to what you said before about the all the things like Instagram and stuff. I think so many people say to me, what vegetables should I be eating? What are the best bits of fruit? What's the best fruit that I should be eating? Or what's that like magic food? And I'm like, again, go back to what you said, like eat the fruit that you like, eat the
Yeah.
vegetables that you like, get some variety. Like there's no point me saying to you, well, broccoli and cauliflower, I don't think that's just an example, are the top two, and then you just eat broccoli and cauliflower, or only eat berries if you hate berries and you love oranges. Like again, making it so complicated, which is you're overthinking all of it. Like eat lots of varieties of vegetables of the ones that you like. If you don't like mushrooms, don't eat mushrooms. Because like what's the point in eating stuff that you don't like? Do you know what I mean? It's
Absolutely. If you shoved a cauliflower in my face, I'd tell you to fuck off.
About it was covered in cheese. No, do you like cauliflower cheese?
No, not even covered in cheese. You
Right.
cannot make cauliflower taste nice. No.
Ugh. I don't know why we're friends because you don't like garlic, you don't like cauliflower cheese. But no, it's you're just overcomplicated. You don't like eggs, don't eat eggs. Eat some other form of protein. It's like I'll mention different types of protein and I'll say cottage cheese. Oh, well, I don't like cottage cheese. I hate cottage cheese, but that's not the point. Just I'm telling you some options. Don't like cottage cheese, don't eat that. You don't need to
Yeah,
go, well, I ate it then, that made me sick once. I don't like the flavor. Like, just don't eat it.
yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. We don't. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter why you don't like it. Just don't have it. Pick something different. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I just want to shake people half the time.
But I understand it is hard when there's so much information out there and you're trying to you're trying to figure out what's going to work for you. And there is all that magic stuff we always talk about that people claim to have. Like you can understand why people are confused and why they are.
Mm. Oh, absolutely. I'd be confused if I looked at it, but I refuse to look at it because I look at
Yeah,
stuff sometimes and think, oh, really? And I think actually don't bother looking at it. What you've done so far works. Just stick with it.
exactly. Yeah. And it's like that medical medium. Do you remember the celery juice guy?
Oh, good God, don't.
And he came up. No, someone I saw had their book, and then I was like, went and looked at his Instagram and saw how many followers that he had, and he's claiming to like fix all of these things with just drinking celery juice, and I'm like,
Also, if you came out with me celery juice, I'd tell you to get lost because I hate celery. It's disgusting. So
oh, it
again,
is
that wouldn't be
disgusting.
helping me, and I would not drink that. Even if it tried, if it was the miracle cure for everything, I still would not drink it. No,
Well, if it's a miracle cure for everything, I probably
no,
would drink it, but
no, absolutely not.
but it's not. No one thing, no one vegetable is going to cure your whole. Like, it's just not. It's just stupid. But yet he's got like millions of followers, and all these people were like believing. There was that thing like ADHD. Was that I sent you
Yeah,
that he was talking about? And I'm like, that's so dangerous to be then saying you can fix ADHD with drinking this or whatever it is. It's like, oh, please stop.
yeah, just yeah. People are mad, aren't they? Absolute madness. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say to it.
I
Oh
think if it's
dear.
if it's overcomplicated, if something's trying to offer you something that seems really easy, if they're trying to sell you something at a cost that's going to magically fix something, all of these things you probably need to keep clear of. Like the people that are promoting boring, sustainable habits with basics, that they're the people that you should be following that are probably less exciting because they're actually telling you the truth. Like they're the
Yeah.
ones you need to take advice from, not from people, random influencers that are trying to sell you some random supplement. It's just stay clear of those ones because they're going to be keeping
Absolutely.
you stuck as well. Because you might start taking this supplement and you might feel great for a week because you've got a placebo effect. And then after that, you probably start feeling back to where you normally were. And then you just
Mm.
wasted so much money on this kind of stuff.
Do you know what? The majority of people that come to me, I say to them, well, like, what supplements are you taking and stuff? And they're like, oh, this. There's a long list most of the time.
Actually,
But do you know what? Half of them, I'm just like, oh, you probably don't need that. You probably don't need that. You probably, let's just see how you feel without taking a few of these. And actually, I've had one client, she went, do you know what? I just stopped it all. And she said, no, I actually feel so much better. So I was like,
yeah,
it just saved you some dollar because a lot of supplement places they just want your money. Like anything that's got women's health written on it, oh, please don't bother because that's going to be
yeah,
way more
don't.
expensive than it needs to be. You could probably just get a normal vitamin, multivitamin from like Tesco or somewhere like that that has all the stuff in it that you need. You probably don't need that women's health one or perimenopause one or menopause one because there's plenty of other things out there that are cheaper that will do what you need. Yes, we do. There are some people that do need supplements, but most of the time, if you die at some point, whereas most people's aren't, you can get most of what you need out of that.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, there's supplements. We did a podcast on that. So can't
Yeah,
even
go
remember what we
listen to
said,
that
but
one.
we definitely did a podcast on that. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I think other things that we like to say to ourselves. So like I think this one's quite common when it comes to things like joining a new club or going to a class, or I don't know, say you want to run or you want to go to like the sweat class that's being done at the gym. So common for people to be like, oh, but like I'm not going to be quick enough. Like I'll hold people up, I'll be at the back. Like I don't want to hold anyone up, or I'm not going to be fit enough to do that class. Am I going to be able to do it? And actually, like I get a lot of my clients say this to me. Like I started a little run club and we're just there to move. Like if someone's quicker, they're quicker. They just have to run in front. Like I don't care how fast you are, I don't care how slow you are. I just want you moving. Like
Mhm.
that is the whole point. And actually one of my clients was like, oh, like I need to run. I think I said this last week. I need to run 3 times a week. And I was like, but why do you? Like I've had she was like, because I won't get to 5K. And then I was like, no, but I've got one client who's got to 5K and she only runs once a week. She runs on a run club. Like the first 4 or 5, we did it like 2 miles, and then the next 7, she's done at your 5K. Granted, I switched there from 2 miles to whatever because I don't know what 2 miles is in kilometers. But I know what 5K is. But yeah, she's like, oh, like, so again, the expectation of having to run 3 times a week to hit a 5K has stopped her completely from running. Like, she's
Yeah.
just not done it. Like, I don't have time to do that, or that's too much. Like, never thought about just doing it once a week to start with, Never crossed her mind.
Yeah.
Um, and again, oh, but will I be too slow? I don't care. Like, I will be at the back with you. Like, you're not going to get any quicker if you sat at home.
No.
Every runner, everyone that's been to a class, everyone that's taken in, I don't know, a dance class, learned something new, was a beginner at one point. There was a time when we used to go to the gym. I used to go on the cross trainer. I didn't know how to use anything else. It wasn't
Yeah.
until I made the conscious decision to be like, right, I need someone to teach me how to do this shit, that I then be able to do it. I didn't wake up and think, oh, I'm going to go to the gym today, and I just knew how to use everything. Like that doesn't happen.
You didn't come out the womb and were like, oh, I know how to bicep curl.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you
Give me some
deadlifts.
weights, mum.
Like everyone has started somewhere. And I remember you were saying that's about the girl that was doing 3. And I kind of had that thought when I stopped running and then I had the injury. And I was like, well, is there really any point in me just going for one run a week? Yeah, why not? Like what we do set those expectations for ourselves, don't we? Like if we can't do it perfectly, we can't do it to what we expect, then there's no point in doing it. But there really is. Because one run a week is always better than not running. That's 4 runs a month that you weren't doing before. That could be 2 hours worth of running, building your cardiovascular health and making you stronger and fitter than when you weren't doing it. And you'd still manage to be able to get to a 5K and potentially get a PB with a 5K with just doing one run a week. So it's always worth doing. Something is always better than nothing. Always.
Yeah, 100%. And like if I look at my routine, I know I play football a lot, so I don't go running. But I literally only run with the run club once a week. And I probably would only do that if I didn't play football, to be honest, because I go through phases of liking running, but I probably would only once, maybe twice a week. But again, nothing crazy because like you say, you're keeping your cardiovascular strength up, your heart health is good, like you're getting out, you're getting some fresh air, like good for the
Yeah.
mental health. And then afterwards, actually, the endorphins, I love running endorphins. They're the best endorphins you can
That's
get.
the best
Oh,
drug in the world, I think.
oh my God. I literally come back from a run and I'm like, I'm like, oh, I could do this and I could do this and I've got this. And yeah, I don't get up from anything else.
No, I don't. I don't. And that's what makes you want to keep going.
Oh, all the lights went
Yeah.
off.
That's weird because the treadmill's still going, so who knows? Anyway,
She didn't
oh there
just
we go.
face plant. Oh, it's come back on.
Um, yeah, that's what like I went out on Sunday morning. That was another thing. I really was like, oh, do I really want to go? And I was like, no, come on, let's do it. We'll go with Fred. It's not going to be very fast, but we'll do like a little stop start, walk down to the country park, run along the river, stop start with him. And afterwards, I was like, it was like an hour in total, but it wasn't an hour running. It was like
Yeah.
half an hour, whatever it was. But I was like, oh, it just feels so good just to get that one in per week. It just feels so
Mm.
good. And I didn't even care about my stats. I didn't care about how fast I was running. It was just get out, do a run. He stretches his leg, gets his walk in. And it was just like, it feels good.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? How many, oh, what was I about to say? Like, how many times, oh, have you been sat around and you're like, oh, I can't be bothered to run. I don't want to run. Oh, I feel like shit. I spent the whole day feeling like shit. And then you might go out for a run later on, like, because you're like, oh no, come on. So then you psych yourself up and you're like, right, you go for a run. And then afterwards, you're like, fucking, I should have done that this morning. I would have been so much more productive all day if I'd have done that this morning. Oh, I've done that
Yeah,
so many times that it drives me insane when I do it. I'm like, why are you trying to put yourself off? Like, you know, you feel so
yeah,
good. Like, but again, when it comes to things like running, it's so easy to have those conversations in your head going, I'll just do it later, I'll just do it later, I'll just do it later. And then that later never comes. Again, same with workouts. Like, you have
yeah,
to find something that works for you optimally, right? Like, I always used to be like, I'm going to do an early morning workout. In the end, I'm like, there is no point in me doing this or saying this because I am not going to get up and do an early morning workout. It just does not work for me. A lunchtime
yeah,
workout for me is perfect. Like, I know I can get to the gym for like between 12 and 2, do a workout, and I feel good. Like, it's like my break halfway through the day. Like, I get out on a morning walk, yeah. But then, yeah, if I try and say to myself, I'm going to go for a 6 a.m. run, I am not getting up for a 6 a.m. run or a weight session. I will have to put
yeah,
that later. And that's just how I work. Whereas, like, you're the opposite way around, right?
yeah, yeah, 100%. Like for me, I know if I put down like a lunchtime run, it's not going to happen. I'll just be like, nope. Like I have to get up early and get my run done because then I'll spend the next few hours talking myself out of doing the run. Whereas if I do it first thing, I can't talk myself out of it. I've got minimal time to anyway, so I
Mm.
tend not to. Um, so yeah, but again, like you
No.
say, it's just working out what works best for you. And if you do keep not doing something and you do put it in at the same time every single day or week or whatever, change it, try something
Yeah.
else.
Mm. Yeah. Always try something else if it's really not working. If you're going to say, right, I'm going to do a morning workout, doesn't work. Okay, right. You cancelled that a couple of times. Put one in straight as you come back from work. Like, literally walk through the door, get changed, do your workout, go and cook your dinner.
Yeah.
Like, especially because that can be a danger time for a lot of people as to like
Mm.
snacking and stuff. So put something in there or come home, go for a walk, and then start cooking dinner. Because if you're coming home at like 4 or 5 o'clock, it might be too early to start dinner, like depending on what your like life is like. Stop looking at what other people's lives are like and thinking that yours has to look like that because it doesn't.
Yeah.
Some people work out at 4 a.m., some work out at 6 a.m., some 10, some 12, some 3, some 6, some 9 p.m. at night because that's the only time they got. Some people on shift work might work out at midnight. The amount of workouts I did at 10 p.m. at night at the gym, like when I worked at Pure and I was on shift, like there would be people in there all times throughout the day. Like, because you just don't know what other people's lives are like. So don't think you have to stick to a certain routine because the world is doing that, because the world is not doing whatever you think they're doing.
No, they're really not. They're really not. And that's it. Stop setting crazy expectations for yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop putting random barriers up that is stopping you from moving forward or getting started and actually just start. And like if
Mm.
you do a run and it was awful and you cried in it and you fell over and like it was shit, that's okay. You can try again another time, and hopefully you won't cry and fall over and do those things. Like that would be quite a bad run, but like
That would be an awful run, but it can happen, right? But yeah, not every run's gonna feel good. Like sometimes I do a run and I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm floating. This is fantastic. I can go on forever. And then other times I think, oh my God, it's been like 2 minutes and I'm running and I'm like, oh God, this is awful. So
yeah,
like this is perfectionism, isn't it?
yeah,
Um,
100%.
it gets you, definitely keeps you stuck, 100%. What other things? I think like you mentioned it last week or the week before about things that came up for you when you were tracking about like, oh, I don't need to track this food, like say like a chocolate bar. Like I don't need to put that in my food diary. I think this one's one that can get people stuck as well, because then you're not necessarily being honest with what you're logging, right? When you're logging stuff, you're logging it for you to see what your habits are and to see what you're doing. And it helps you identify certain habits that you're doing. So if you
Mhm.
are coming home every day after work and then eating a load of chocolate before you eat your dinner, then is that something you need to change? Like, can you then identify, okay, so why is this coming into your diary all the time? You can have a look at it and be like, oh, well, I do that because when I come home, it's just like a habit. I'm like, right, how do we break that habit? Like, if you're not writing those things in a food diary, you're never going to know that you do it. And you're almost cheating yourself, right?
Yeah, 100%. And it's the same with like, yeah, if you think, oh, well, there's only one crisp, but what if you've had one or two crisps, and then you've had one cracker, and you've had one square of chocolate, and you've had one squirt of mayonnaise, and you've had one chocolate finger, and you just said, well, it's just one, so I won't log any of those things. Well, if you add all those one things up throughout the day, you've probably created a meal worth of calories. So potentially, so like if that adds up to 2, 3, 400 calories from that one thing, that could be literally the difference between whether you lose weight or don't lose weight, if that is your intended goal.
Mm.
So yeah, and your only person you are deceiving is yourself. And if you're not getting the results and you're like, oh well, I didn't log those things, well, no one else cares. No one else is gonna be going sitting there going, well, I saw you eat that and you didn't log that. Like you're only, like you say, you're only treating yourself. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I know those thoughts come up, and
Mm.
I definitely was like, well, maybe I won't log that because then they won't see that I've gone over my calories a little bit. And I was like, interesting that's come up. So I
Yeah.
get why people would think that, and it is like a bit of a guilt and a bit shameful. Maybe you feel that way, and that could be underlined with other things. So it's understandable to feel that way, and I think it's don't beat yourself up if you do have those thoughts, but it's only a thought, and thoughts don't control you. They're just things that pop up. So acknowledge the thought and go, oh, that's come up. Where's that come from? Rather than like then feel guilty for having the thought and then feeling the shame. This is a whole cycle of whatever of that.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah. And again, it can be totally normal. Like I have those thoughts all the time, and I think, oh, shut up! Like just put it in your food diary. Like it's like it's difficult sometimes when like I haven't got anyone looking at my food diary either. Like so when you've got someone that is looking at it, like yeah, you don't want them to think, oh, like you've done shit or you're failing or whatever, but you're not. Like I actually think you're doing the opposite when you log it. You're not failing, like you're doing something good because you're realizing and you're making it more what's the word that I'm looking for? You're progressing more, aren't you? Because you're writing it down. Whereas like I suppose if you were thinking you were failing, you wouldn't be putting these things down and you'd be hiding it and then you wouldn't be making any progress. And then we don't know why you're not making any progress because you haven't said that you're doing these things. Whereas my clients that are just like, look, this is what I've done. Yes, I know I've overeaten. Like I understand why the number on that scale hasn't gone down or up. Like I understand why this hasn't happened. And when you understand why these things don't happen, you're then more likely to keep going with it because you're like, okay, well, I need to adjust this slightly, or there is room for me to have that packet of crisps that I really want. I just have to make sure that I log it first and then I log the rest of my food around it. There's things that you can do. If you really want that thing, then it's fine. And if you go over your calories like one day a week, 2 days a week, whatever, that's not going to be the end of the world. Like you can adjust things on other days. That's perfectly fine. Like,
yeah,
so I think if you think you're failing because you're not like, wait, I don't know. You're not failing if you don't log it, essentially. What I'm trying to say.
no, there's people that or clients that I've worked with in the past that will say like, oh well, I went out for the weekend, I was away for the weekend, or I was out on the weekend, so I was no point like writing anything down if they are using a food diary or whether they're tracking it. And it's like, well, why not? It's like, well, that day was completely off track. Well, that's still important though. Like, it's still good to know what you had that day. Like, Because sometimes people say I went out and they say, well, I had like a chicken tomato pasta. I'm like, well, there's probably more pasta in there than you probably would cook at home. But it's like, or they might have had like a salmon and something. It's like, well, that's still a healthier choice. So unless you've gone out and had like a burger and chips and onion rings and I don't know, a massive dessert, and then you've eaten a whole bag of, yes, there are, like that's gonna be having a huge impact. But sometimes people think because they've gone out and things that it's actually really bad when it's not as bad as they think.
Mm. And that's the majority of the things. Most when they don't log stuff, they're like, I'm like, right, well, what is bad? What have you not logged? What is bad? And then they say, and I'm like, that's not bad. Don't worry about it. Put it in your food diary. Come on.
Yeah,
And they're like,
yeah.
oh, really? And I'm like, yes, like it's not bad. Like it's
And that's what
okay.
the food diary is for. Like if we're only logging the good stuff, what data are we getting from that? What are we learning from that? Because you're just showing that you can. But like we need to learn from the other things that you're not doing so well so you can improve on it. Because if you're constantly just logging all the good things, how are you going to work on the stuff that you're finding more challenging or more difficult at the moment?
Mm. Like I find it so difficult when people haven't logged Friday, Saturday, Sunday to help them because they're
Yeah.
the days that we need to navigate and how we can put stuff in place for you. Like you can still live your life. I'm not going to stop you drinking cocktails and eating chocolate and cake and dessert and whatever, but it can't help you at all if you're not writing in what you're doing. Like it's like the blind leading the blind. Like I mean, I wouldn't ask a blind person to get me to America. Like, I don't know where they come from, but it is essentially like that, right? If you're not telling me what you're doing, how am I supposed to help you? Like, I had one client who they've started getting Hello Fresh, and that's fine, but she's petite. She's a small woman. Like, she doesn't need thousands of calories, especially if she wants to lose weight, right?
Mm.
So I said to her, this is fine. However, those between those calories between 600 and 1,000 calories a day, that leaves you about four. Well, if you're going for the higher end of 1,000, because some of them are that, that's leaving you with like 500 calories for lunch and breakfast. That's not a lot.
Mm.
Like, what can we do? Can we? Is there any scope that you can pick like the meals that are around the 500 calorie mark? Because she was saying her other half, he was like ordering them and stuff. I was like, can you sit down and have a conversation with him? Can you get the lower ones? And then maybe for him, bulk them up with extra pasta and rice and stuff because it's so much easier
Mm.
to bulk them up than it is to fanny around with the calories of a meal and being like, well, I'll have half a rice portion and sort that out on like my fitness pal and whatever. Oh, it's just a ball ache. Like get the lower calorie stuff that you both like and then just add extra for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
what they're
So
now
much
doing.
easier.
She's like, yeah, that's going to
Perfect.
make my life easier. So because she said about these and she started adding, we can have that conversation and then she can have that conversation with him. So it's about talking about these things. Yes, for a couple of weeks, her calorie, I was like, wow, why are these calories so high? What's going on? Like, and then I had to teach her about the calories and that she can have carbs because there was very much like oh, I've just been focusing on my protein. Like, oh, and I know I can't have carbs. I'm like, you can't, why can't you have carbs? You can have carbs. They're fine. They're gonna have to try and get out of it. Like, we're looking at calories and protein right now. Like, so we need to see what's happening here. And then she said about the HelloFresh, and then we could have that conversation. And now she's getting a good average now. Her average has gone down from like 1,900 to like 1,500. So it's a lot better and it's going to help her achieve her goal. Whereas if she didn't
Yeah.
tell me she was doing these things or writing down all the other stuff she was doing in the day as well as the HelloFresh, how am I going to help her?
Yeah. Yeah. It's being open and honest, isn't it? Open and honest with yourself and other people around you. And also remembering that like so many people are in the same situation and not because it's almost like we don't want to accept that we're not perfect and we're not doing all these things right. But as soon as we start to lower those walls down and actually realize that, like, if you think about the diet industry and how much it makes from, like, clearly that shows that we're all, so many people are in exactly the same boat, aren't they, in terms of health and fitness. So you're not alone, and it's just about being that little bit vulnerable, being honest, being open, because then you can start working on it, and then you can start moving forward. But if you're always not being truthful and you're pretending that everything's fine and it's not, and you keep doing the same things over and over again that is keeping you stuck, then you're never gonna open yourself up to getting that help and getting where you want to be, essentially.
Mm. And you got to remember, we've like been here, we've been there. We still do some of these things sometimes. Like we're all only
Yeah.
human. Like we're there to help you. I'm not going to be like, oh, you're a shit human because you eat chocolate. Like that would be hypocritical. And like you're not a shit human because you eat chocolate or
No.
pizzas or burgers. Like it's quite okay. You're allowed to eat them. Like it's just we're helping you to find more of a balance and just to get your health like better. Like. And if you take the advice, you take the advice. If you want the help, you want the help, we can give you the help. But if you don't want it and you're going to you're the only one that can change things, can't you? We can help you, but you're the only one that can make a change. So if you're sat in coffee shops all the time eating cake and you know you do it all the time and you continue to do it all the time, I can't help you.
Mm,
You have to make that decision to be like, okay, I need to stop this, or whatever it is that you find yourself doing and realize that you're doing. Once you realize you're doing it, then you can start moving that needle.
yeah. We can guide you to the water. We can't make you drink
Exactly that.
it.
Absolutely. Um, what other things? I think a lot of things like hating the way like you look and like clothing can also get you stuck. Like in terms of like you put pressure on yourself to have to look a certain way to wear a certain or object.
Object to wear a square, to put on a triangle, to wear a certain piece of clothing, or
Let's
no,
roll
yeah.
with that. Like, yeah. So a lot of people might not work out because they're going to get too hot and sweaty and they can only wear leggings, this kind of thing. So you're stopping yourself from doing something because you're going to get too hot and you won't wear a pair of shorts. Like, I understand some people don't like the look of their legs and stuff, but what, where has that come from? Like, what are you expecting? Like, no, not everyone has legs that are like, you know, I don't know, like the beach babes on bloody Baywatch or whatever. Like, I don't know. My brain's not working today. Um, but again, I think we need to lower the expectation of what we think people look like in general. Because if you actually go on holiday, like people are worried about wearing bikinis and swimsuits and stuff. If you actually go on holiday, at most places you sit and you look at people around, they're between the size 16 and 18. They haven't got abs. They haven't got like the perfect physique or whatever you want that to be. Like they are just wearing their bikinis and swimsuits. They don't give a shit about anyone else. No one gives a shit about anyone else. They only give a shit about you. So, you only give a shit about yourself. Like, you know. So stopping yourself from doing certain things because of certain clothing, like find something you're comfortable in.
Yeah, yeah. It's all underlying excuses, isn't it, at the end of the day? Not to be harsh, but it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
and it's because we're human and we want to live in that survival comfort zone. And saying that, well, my legs are too big to go to the gym, or I don't want to do that to get this because of this. Like we're all just trying to stay in that comfortable bubble and try and survive. But you've got to start poking your head out of that bubble if you want. Like you've got to start like going, "Ooh, what's it like out there? Oh, it's a bit scary, but it's not going to kill me." Like it's you can either sit in your comfortable bubble, which is it really comfortable because most people want to make a change, but they're too scared to come outside the bubble. But it's painful comfortable in that bubble. Whereas if you get out of it, you could be actually less pain, be a little bit scary. It will be a little bit like make your heart go a little bit, and you'll probably feel a bit terrified. But then you do it once, and it'll be a little bit less scary, and then you'll start to see some benefits. And then you'll do a little bit more out of that bubble, and then you'll just grow and grow and grow and get better and better. And then there's a whole wide world out of that bubble. There's a bigger bubble. I don't know what I'm chatting
yeah.
about, so it's chatting rubbish. But
Absolutely, though. There is. Yeah. And I've got clients that come to me for the first time. They come in and they're like, like double diarrhea. They're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. They stand in the corner and they're all like, oh my God. I'm like, just calm, just chill. We're fine. I don't know you,
yeah,
you don't know me. I'm shitting myself on the inside because I have no idea who you are. You're in my shed.
yeah,
Like,
you're in my shed.
you know, but like, you see that person when they come in on day one, and now like a lot of the girls who I've been training them for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, the way they come in now and how they hold themselves, and they don't look terrified at what I'm about to show them or what we're about to do. They're like, okay, we've got this. Like they have a chill conversation, like you open up a little bit more, like because obviously they get to know you more. And it that first session is probably awful for you. Like you're
Yeah.
about to embark on something new. You're terrified. You don't know what's coming. If you've never done exercise before, it's absolutely terrifying. Like, it's probably how I feel if I have to get up on stage in front of people and talk. Absolutely terrified. Like, yep, horrific. But sometimes you have to do it. I've had to do it in like the past and it wasn't nice, but again, like these podcasts for us. Like the first time I wouldn't even show us on camera, right? I'm like, no. And I'm like talking to you, like, you know. But now it's like, oh no, it's chill. Let's put it on YouTube. Let's video it. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like,
Yeah.
because we do it a lot. Like, you just see a difference from when they first come into where they are now. And that's what you've got to look at. Where do I want to be? If I want to be there, how am I going to get there? This is how I'm going to do it. If I tell myself all these excuses, all these things that pop up into my head, which the majority of people have, you'd have to be a superhero if you didn't have any of them. Like, but I need to make sure I get there. So I need to start changing. I need to start doing these things. I need to not listen to that little voice in my head that's telling me to stop and not do it, because my body wants, like you say, wants to keep me at baseline level. It wants to keep me here, but I want to be there. So the only way I can get there is if I do the difficult things. But eventually they will become the easier things. Like a couple of people this week are like, oh yeah, I know that I come to you on a Monday, Friday. That is my set days. I'm so used to this now that that is part of my routine. And then every morning I'll make sure I go for a walk. Like that is part of my routine. My family know that's my routine. They know where I'm going to be. They know what I'm doing. This is it. Yeah, two people had that conversation with me on the same day. That's weird. That always happens as well. So weird. I didn't even instigate it, but you have to make something your routine, whether that's comfortable or not. Like it will not be comfortable to start with, but once you start doing it, it will become
Yeah.
comfortable. But you have to get there.
Definitely. And one thing I always think is like, what version of you do you need to be to become the version of you you want to be? Does that make sense? Like, or what do you need to do to become that version of you? And sometimes I think about, because I am quite inherently shy, I'm in like big groups of people, like I get quite that is quite daunting.
Hmm.
I can be a little bit standoffish with people at the beginning, which I don't mean to be, but it's my shyness. And I take a little bit of time to warm up as well sometimes. I'm always like a little bit like, oh, and then I tend to like come out of my shell. And I always think I've really been focusing on recently, like when I feel that kind of tense up, who do I need to be now to become that version of me that isn't like that? Like, okay, just be uncomfortable, just make conversation, be nice to people, be a bit more warm, be more open. And it feels horrible because it's fighting against all of my natural instincts. But I'm thinking of that version that I want to be, and I'm like, I need to do these steps to become that person. And it's the same thing, like who do you need to be? What do you need to do to make sure you become that version of you? And maybe it is getting up at 6 a.m. and going for a half an hour walk, or maybe it is that's the version of you that you need to be. And it's like feels uncomfortable, but you gotta do it. Gotta be
Mm,
uncomfortable to make the change.
yeah, I'm the same as you when it comes to being in groups of people and how you want to be. I'm like, I'd love to be that person that just walks into the room and way, and I'm like, that's never going to be me. However, I think you learn to do these things, don't you? Like I have a set amount of questions in my head that I'm like, I can fall back on if I met someone the first time. I'm like, oh, just ask them that, ask them
You're
this,
good at
like,
asking questions, to be fair.
but that's only because I've made myself do that. Like on the
Yeah.
inside, I'm screaming. I'm like, fuck now, I'm speaking to strangers. I don't know any of them. This is not okay. I'm not okay. That's what I'm saying in my head, and I'm like, it's okay, it'll
Yeah.
be all right. Like, don't worry, they're not gonna bite your head off. This will be okay. But that's over time because I'm like, I can't keep going into like groups of things and just being like you say, the really shy, awkward one that everyone probably thinks, well, they're rude because they don't talk. Because I'm very aware that it can come off rude, and I'm like, I don't want to
Yeah.
be that person that feels like they're being rude because I'm not being rude, but on the inside, I'm like, I just like to go and hide in my hole.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Because probably people that listen to us, obviously me and you are friends, and like we're friends for ages, but like, we both get verbal diarrhea when we're together because we're just comfortable. But like you probably wouldn't think that about us both. We're both quite similar in that way, aren't we? With like, other people, we're just like the awkward ones. Try not to be awkward. But yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, don't be awkward. Don't be awkward. Oh, you look awkward. Ah, shit. Okay, how can I be less awkward? Now I'm being more awkward because I'm thinking about being awkward. Like, yeah, awful. But yeah, and that's the thing. Different people in different situations, different things crop up for people, don't they? And it's just pushing yourself out of that comfort zone. Like, and you have to do it. Otherwise, you'll just sit at home and be in your little bubble, and you'll just never go out and do anything or experience life. And that's not fun, is it? Like, if you are sat in pain all the time, like I was saying to my client, you need to remind yourself how much pain you were in before, how you couldn't get up off the floor, how you, like she said this week, she can just stand up and put her trousers on, whereas before she'd have to sit on her bed, try and reach her feet, and all this. Again, I was like, she needed to make me cry actually. I was like, well, like I'm gonna cry in a minute because you're like doing so good. Like, but I said to her, you always have to remember these things that you couldn't do and now what you can do, because if you forget those things that you couldn't do, you might go back. Like, I don't want you to go backwards and go back into that pain. That pain was like, that pain is worse than your hips aching a bit because you've been out on a walk. Like, pick your pain. Which one would you prefer?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, your family love the fact, like, I've spoken to them, they're like, oh, mum's so different now. Like, if we mention going for a walk, she'll come. Like, and I said to her, do you know how, like, before you'd be like, oh no, it's all right, you lot go. But like, and that's because you're in pain, and you're probably thinking, oh, that's sad. I'm missing out on that. And I said, and yeah, on the flip of that, like, as someone who's active, and I'd love my mum and dad to come out for walks and stuff with me, but they don't always, because they're like, oh no, this hurts or this hurts. Do you know what I mean? I said, so I said to her, like, your family are probably like, oh my god, this is so good, they're actually coming out with me, whereas before they'd be like, oh, it's really sad, mum's gonna miss it. Like, and that's sad because you want to spend time with your family. So what pain was worth it? Like, sitting at home, not ever moving, not getting involved in these things, or actually putting yourself through a year of like getting better and keep moving and keep doing these things. Yes, they're painful at the time, but now you can go out for walks with your family. Like, is that the better thing? Because now you're involved.
Yeah, it's so true. Boom. I think we should
And
leave it there. That was a good place to end. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, well, I hope this has given everyone a little bit of a boost, a little bit of motivation, a little bit of just start poking that finger through the bubble, getting out of your
I'm glad you
comfort
said
zone.
that. Absolutely. Pick one thing that's going to move that needle forward this week. Doesn't matter what it is, just one thing.
Just one thing. Get that one duck lined up in that row, and yeah, go for it. Do it. Just go.
Yeah.
Because
Don't worry
you'll be
if you're
grateful
like,
for it.
yeah, don't worry if you're in the middle of a house move, if you're moving jobs, if you're doing all these other things, you can do one thing in between that. Like, it might seem hectic and horrible at the time, but yeah, just pick one thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And it could literally be drinking one glass of water extra, or literally just walking around your house once, get a few more steps in, or maybe it might be a 5 minute yoga class on YouTube, or
Eat an
adding a
apple.
few more vegetables. Eat an
Yeah.
apple. Maybe don't eat any fruit. Eat an apple. Exactly. Like, just anything. Just one thing. There is one thing that every single person in this world can do right now that's going to improve where they're at. So pick it, and go for it. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope you found that helpful. Please feel free to ask any questions. You can message us on socials or our numbers if you've got them, or email us at fitgirls93@gmail.com. And if you have any suggestions for what you want us to talk about next, please let us know. And otherwise, you'll catch us in the
Don't forget to like, rate, and
yeah.
subscribe. Yeah.
Yes, give us a 5 star if you love listening to us.
Please.
If it's not a 5 star, we don't want any stars. No, I'm only kidding. But
Hey,
yeah,
we'll
please
take
don't.
we'll take two, we'll take three, we'll start off small, it's fine.
Exactly. Any stars is good. But yeah, thanks so much, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See ya.